Your struggles are shaping you, not stopping you. Every challenge you face, every setback that pushes you to the ground, every disappointment that makes you question your own path, none of it is meant to break you. It's building something inside you that comfort could never create. Most people only see the surface of your journey. They don't see the late nights, the sacrifices, the silent battles you fight within yourself. They don't see the moments where you had every reason to quit but still chose to take one more step. That's where the shaping happens, in the unseen moments, in the quiet decisions, in the places where nobody is clapping for you. You have to understand that struggle is not a sign that you're failing. Struggle is a sign that you're growing beyond where you used to be. Growth is uncomfortable because you're stretching into a version of yourself you've never been before. It's messy. It's confusing. You'll doubt yourself. You'll question whether you're good enough. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But every time you push through, something inside you shifts. Your character deepens. Your resilience expands. Your vision sharpens. You become someone capable of carrying the future you're asking for. When life gets heavy, remind yourself that pressure creates strength. Think about your strongest qualities, the things people admire about you today. Confidence, patience, discipline, compassion, none of these came from easy days. They were formed in the fire. They were born in seasons where you had no choice but to fight your way through. When you walked through hardship, you weren't being punished. You were being prepared. You were being shaped into a person who could stand tall through storms that others might collapse under. There's a reason you've survived everything you thought you would never overcome. There's a reason you're still standing. You're stronger than you give yourself credit for. But strength is not loud. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes strength is simply refusing to let the struggle stop you. It's waking up after a breakdown. It's trying again after a failure. It's believing that something better is ahead even when the present moment feels unbearable. That internal push, that quiet determination, that's what shapes you. And here's the truth. If everything in your life was smooth, predictable, and easy, you would never grow beyond what you already are. Comfort doesn't demand improvement. Comfort doesn't challenge you to rise. Struggle does. Struggle exposes your weaknesses, but it also reveals your strengths. It shows you what you're capable of. It teaches you how to endure, how to adapt, how to stay focused. It teaches you how to appreciate success when it finally arrives, because you know the cost you paid to get there. So don't run from your struggles. Don't label them as signs that you're off track. Don't let frustration convince you that you've lost your way. You're right where you need to be. You're in the process of becoming. You're learning lessons that easy seasons could never teach. You are developing qualities that will matter far more in the long run than whatever temporary comfort you feel you're missing today. The struggle is shaping you by making you tougher, wiser, and more grounded. It's shaping you into someone who can handle the weight of your dreams without collapsing. It's shaping you into someone who refuses to fold under pressure. Most importantly, it's shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. Every day, you push forward, even with fear, even with doubt, even with exhaustion. You're proving that your struggle is not stopping you. It's sculpting you. It's strengthening you. It's setting you up for everything you've been praying for. Stay committed to the process, even when the results are slow. Because the truth is, anything meaningful, anything lasting, anything that truly transforms your life takes time to build. Most people love the idea of success, but they don't love the patience, consistency, and discipline that success demands. They want the trophy without the training. They want the reward without the repetition. But the process doesn't bend for anyone. The process requires you to show up long before you see any signs that what you're doing is working. That's where most people quit, not because they're incapable, but because they can't handle the silence between effort and results. You've got to learn to trust that silence. That empty space where it feels like nothing is happening is exactly where everything is happening. Seeds don't sprout overnight. Muscles don't grow after one workout. Skills don't sharpen after one attempt. The process is slow because it's building something deep, something strong, something that can withstand pressure. Quick results may feel good for the moment, but slow results build foundations that don't crack when life gets heavy. Your job is to keep moving, keep showing up, keep putting in the work even on the days when it feels pointless, because those are the days that are molding you into someone unstoppable. Most people measure progress only by visible results, but real progress starts internally. Before you see anything change around you, something has to change within you. Your mindset, your discipline, your habits, your resilience, all of that is being shaped long before your circumstances catch up. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, every time you choose effort over excuses, Every time you choose consistency over comfort, you're building strength that will eventually manifest into results. But you don't get to choose the timeline. You only get to choose your level of commitment. There will be days when you question whether the process is even worth it. Days when you feel stuck, when you feel tired, when you feel behind. Days when you wonder why your hard work isn't paying off yet. Those days are not signs to stop. They're signs to keep going. Because the moment you feel like quitting is usually the moment right before something shifts. The process is testing you, stretching you, preparing you. It's asking, do you really want this? Are you willing to keep going even when the world hasn't rewarded you yet? Your answer to that question determines everything. Commitment is what separates the ones who dream from the ones who achieve. Anyone can stay committed when results are visible, when applause is loud, when progress is obvious. But the ones who succeed are the ones who remain committed when nobody is watching, when nobody is praising, when nobody is validating their effort. Consistency without immediate reward is one of the hardest things to master, but it's also one of the most powerful. It builds a mindset that refuses to fold just because the timeline is slow. You have to train yourself to fall in love with the process. Not just the wins, not just the milestones, not just the moments of celebration, but the ordinary, repetitive, unglamorous work. The early mornings, the late nights, the countless tries, the constant refinement, the willingness to get back up every time something doesn't go your way, because that's where character is built. That's where greatness is forged. That's where the real transformation happens. Staying committed to the process means understanding that the journey may test you, delay you, frustrate you, and stretch you, but it will never betray you. The effort you put in will always come back to you, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. Slow results are still results. Small progress is still progress. And as long as you keep showing up, the process will eventually produce the outcome you've been working for. The timeline may be slow, but the payoff will be worth every second of patience and every ounce of perseverance you gave. Your attitude determines your altitude. It's not just a phrase people say to sound wise, it's a truth that quietly decides the direction of your entire life. Two people can start with the same opportunity, the same resources, the same amount of talent, and end up in completely different places simply because of the mindset they choose to carry. Your attitude is the lens through which you see the world. It's the story you tell yourself when things get tough. It's the energy you bring to situations that don't go your way. And that attitude can either lift you higher than your circumstances or bury you beneath them. Life will test you with situations you didn't ask for and moments you didn't plan on. You can't control every challenge that comes your way, but you can control the spirit with which you face it. A positive attitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to believe that even the toughest moments have purpose. It means refusing to let temporary setbacks dictate your long-term vision. It means showing up with resilience when most people would show up with excuses. When your attitude is strong, the world stops being a place where things happen times to times you and becomes a place where things happen times for times you, shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you. Your attitude creates momentum. When you approach life with gratitude, humility, and hunger, you start to see possibilities where others see problems. When you decide you'll stay committed regardless of how hard things get, obstacles stop feeling like barriers and start feeling like stepping stones. But when you carry a negative attitude, when you complain, blame, doubt, or expect the worst, you limit yourself before life even has a chance to challenge you. A negative mindset shuts doors long before reality does. It convinces you to quit early. It makes you feel defeated long before you've actually lost. There are people with less talent than you, less support than you, fewer opportunities than you, who still rise higher simply because of the attitude they bring. They choose to see lessons where others see failure. They choose to grow where others stay stuck. They choose to get back up even when they're tired of falling. That kind of attitude creates altitude because it builds character, and character determines how far you can go. Skill might open a door, but attitude decides whether you stay inside that room long enough to grow. Your attitude is contagious too. It affects your relationships, your environment, your influence. People are drawn to individuals who carry themselves with purpose and positivity. People want to work with, learn from, and support those who bring good energy. Success often comes through people, and people respond to the attitude you bring into the world. When you walk around with a mindset that says, I'm willing, I'm ready, I'm grateful, I'm committed, doors open in ways you never expected. But the real point is this: your attitude is a choice, not a reaction, not something controlled by your circumstances, a choice. Every morning, you decide whether you'll walk with hope or fear, faith or doubt, discipline or laziness, gratitude or complaints. That decision sets the tone for your entire day, which eventually sets the tone for your entire life. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you steer your ship through it. You can't stop challenges from arriving, but you can choose to face them with a mindset that pulls you forward instead of holding you back. Altitude isn't just about success, it's about the level of peace you walk with, the strength you carry, the character you build, and the vision you refuse to let go of. When your attitude is right, you become unstoppable because nothing around you has the power to break what's within you. Your attitude determines your altitude because it determines how high you're willing to climb, how far you're willing to go, and how deeply you're willing to believe in the greatness that's been placed inside you. Discipline beats motivation every single day because motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. One day you wake up excited, energized, ready to take on the world. The next day you feel tired, overwhelmed, uninterested. If your progress depends on motivation, you'll move like a roller coaster, high one moment, low the next, inconsistent, unpredictable. But discipline, that's different. Discipline is a decision. It's a commitment you make to yourself regardless of how you feel. It's the promise you keep even on the days when everything inside you is telling you to take it easy. Discipline shows up when motivation is nowhere to be found. What discipline really does is build a life on stability instead of emotion. Anyone can work hard when they're inspired, but not everyone can work hard when they're exhausted, frustrated, bored, or discouraged. That's why disciplined people win more often. They don't rely on inspiration to take action. They rely on consistency. They wake up and do what needs to be done simply because it aligns with who they want to become. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They create progress through repetition. When you act with discipline long enough, the actions that once required effort eventually become automatic. That's how real transformation happens, not from bursts of motivation, but from daily, deliberate habits that shape your identity. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they wait for motivation to push them instead of training discipline to lead them. They keep saying, I'll start when I feel ready, I'll try again when I'm motivated, I'll work harder when the time feels right, but the right time rarely comes and motivation rarely lasts. Discipline doesn't care about perfect timing. Discipline doesn't need ideal conditions. Discipline shows up in the rain, in the cold, in the doubt, in the silence. Discipline shows up when life gets messy. And the people who learn to move forward in moments where motivation would usually stop them are the ones who separate themselves from the rest. Discipline is uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice. It forces you to confront your excuses. It pushes you to do the things you'd rather avoid. But that discomfort is exactly what shapes you. Every time you choose discipline over temptation, your self-respect grows. You start to trust yourself more. You build confidence, not from hype, but from evidence you've proven to yourself that you can follow through. You've proven that you can do hard things. You've proven that you don't fold just because the feeling changes. That internal trust becomes one of your greatest strengths. Motivation might make you start, but discipline is what keeps you going. Discipline is waking up early to train when you'd rather sleep in. Discipline is studying when your mind is tired. Discipline is staying focused when distractions are calling your name. Discipline is saying no when everything in you wants to say yes. Discipline is choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. Discipline is doing the work even when nobody is watching, praising, or validating your effort. And over time, discipline pays you back in ways motivation never will. People admire the results of discipline, success, strength, skill, stability, but they rarely see the part where it felt boring, repetitive, and lonely. That's the part motivation can't carry you through. That's the part where discipline becomes your engine. When you understand this, you stop chasing motivation and start training discipline like a muscle. You stop waiting for energy and start relying on structure. You stop hoping for consistency and start creating it through daily effort. Because at the end of the day, the people who win are not the ones who feel motivated, they're the ones who stay committed long after the motivation fades. Discipline beats motivation every single day because discipline turns dreams into habits and habits into results. Gratitude keeps you grounded and focused because it reminds you of what you have instead of what you lack. In a world where everyone is constantly chasing more and more success, more recognition, more comfort, more validation, it's easy to forget how far you've already come. Gratitude pulls you back to center. It brings your attention away from comparison and competition and back to the quiet truth that you already have something valuable in your hands. When you start recognizing your blessings, your mind shifts from pressure to perspective. You stop moving from a place of desperation and start moving from a place of appreciation. Most people think gratitude makes you soft, like it's something that slows your hunger or reduces your ambition. But it's the opposite. Gratitude actually strengthens your drive because it clears away the noise. When you're grateful, you're not wasting energy wishing you had someone else's life. You're using that energy to build your own. Gratitude doesn't kill ambition, it purifies it. It helps you remember why you started, what matters, and what you're capable of. It gives you a stable foundation so that even when life hits you with challenges, you don't collapse under the weight of frustration or disappointment. You stay grounded because you understand that the struggle doesn't erase the blessings. When you live without gratitude, every setback feels like a full stop. You start believing that nothing you do is good enough. You overlook the progress you've made because you're too busy stressing about the distance left to travel. That mindset steals your peace and blinds you to the small victories that are shaping you day by day. But when you practice gratitude, even in difficult seasons, you regain focus. You start seeing challenges as part of your growth instead of punishment. You realize that life isn't just about outcomes. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle those outcomes. Gratitude is powerful because it keeps you connected to reality. It stops your mind from running into negative spirals. It reminds you that despite the problems you're facing, there are still things going right. You have people who care about you, opportunities many would dream of, lessons that are molding you, and strength that has carried you through moments you never thought you'd survive. Gratitude shifts your attention from what's missing to what's meaningful. It is impossible to feel defeated when you're aware of your blessings. You might feel challenged, tired, or stretched, but you won't feel empty. Another reason gratitude keeps you focused is because it helps you avoid distractions. When you're grateful, you don't get lost chasing things just because others have them. You don't waste time trying to impress people who don't matter. You don't put your worth in numbers, opinions, or comparisons. Gratitude teaches you to concentrate on your own lane, your own journey, your own progress. It acts like a filter that removes unnecessary noise and brings clarity to your path. And clarity is one of the most powerful tools you can have when you're working towards something great. Even during struggle, gratitude changes the way you show up. Instead of complaining, you look for lessons. Instead of giving up, you stay patient. Instead of doubting yourself, you acknowledge how many times you've already overcome difficulty. That mindset builds resilience. It helps you stand firm when life gets messy. It keeps you humble when things go well and hopeful when things fall apart. Gratitude gives you balance. It protects your heart from arrogance and your mind from discouragement. You can't control every situation, but you can control where you place your focus. Gratitude helps you place it on the things that strengthen you instead of the things that drain you. When you walk with gratitude, you walk with awareness, stability, and purpose. You stop rushing, you stop panicking, you stop chasing validation, and instead, you start building a life with intention. Gratitude keeps you grounded because it roots you in reality, and it keeps you focused because it reminds you of what truly matters. You owe it to yourself to show up, even on the hard days, because those are the days that define who you really are. Anybody can show up when life feels light, when energy is high, when circumstances are smooth and the path is clear. But the days when you wake up tired, overwhelmed, frustrated, unsure, or discouraged, those days reveal your true character. Those days determine your growth. Those days shape your spirit. When you push through the moments that try to break you, you discover strength you didn't know you had. You learn that you are bigger than your excuses and tougher than your emotions. And that realization alone can change the entire direction of your life. Hard days don't mean you're failing. Hard days don't mean you're weak. Hard days mean you're human. Everybody experiences doubt, fear, and exhaustion. But not everybody chooses to rise in the middle of it. Not everybody chooses to show up when their feelings tell them to hide. When you make that choice, when you step forward, even with shaky hands and a tired heart, you're teaching yourself something powerful, that your commitment matters more than your comfort, that your goals matter more than your mood, that your future is worth fighting for even on the days when the fight feels unfair. Showing up on the hard days isn't about perfection. It's not about performing at your best every time. It's about staying in the game. It's about giving what you can, even if it's only 50% of your usual energy. Because 50% effort on a tough day still beats 0%. Progress doesn't care about how perfect your day looks. It only cares that you're moving. And sometimes the smallest step on a bad day carries more strength than a giant step on a good day. Consistency is built in those moments when you refuse to let your circumstances decide your actions. You owe it to yourself to show up because nobody else can live your life for you. Nobody else can chase your dreams for you. Nobody else can put in the hours, the dedication, the sacrifice that your goals require. People can support you, encourage you, guide you, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to stand up and take action. If you don't show up for yourself, who will? If you don't honor your potential, who will protect it? You are the one who has to decide that your vision matters enough to push through discomfort. You are the one who has to believe that your effort will eventually pay off, even if today doesn't show it. Hard days are not setbacks, they're opportunities. They give you a chance to build discipline, resilience, and mental toughness. When you push through a difficult moment, you're not just completing a task, you're building a version of yourself capable of handling greater challenges ahead. Every time you choose to show up, you're strengthening your identity. You're becoming someone who doesn't crack under pressure, someone who doesn't fold when life gets heavy, someone who doesn't run when things get uncomfortable. And that version of you can accomplish things that the past version could only dream about. You don't show up only for the results. You show up because you made a promise to yourself. You show up because the future you're building depends on the choices you're making right now. You show up because quitting on a hard day creates a habit, and pushing through on a hard day creates a different habit. One leads to regret, the other leads to growth. The person you want to become is on the other side of consistency, not perfection, not motivation, consistency. So even when it feels heavy, even when your mind is noisy, even when your heart is tired, show up. Even when progress feels invisible, show up. Even when doubt whispers that you're not enough, show up. You don't have to be the strongest every day. You just have to be present. You just have to keep going. You owe it to yourself to show up, because your future self is counting on the choices you make in the moments where it would be easier to quit.